Naruto stood in his one-tailed Jinchuriki cloak as he faced down his best friend, Sasuke, in the Valley of the End. Naruto had his eyes narrowed at Sasuke's new power as he had revealed to have attained the Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto didn't know what his new eyes could do, but could certainly feel the unbridled power behind them. Not to mention the warning he received from Kurama earlier about its potential. "I've never seen you use that power before. So how do you have those eyes?" said Naruto, talking about Sasuke's Sharingan. Sasuke smirked at Naruto's words. "You seem to not remember that you hid quite a few things from me in the past, Naruto. Your Jinchuriki status and your Mokutan abilities. Who's to say that I never did? We all have our secrets," said Sasuke as his gaze shifted to the water that flowed between him and Naruto. As he stared at his reflection, he continued to speak. "These eyes are only attainable to those that have experienced the death of someone close to them, like the death of a family member, or in my case, a best friend." Naruto pondered Sasuke's words. "You killed your best friend? For power?" questioned Naruto, apprehensive about what Sasuke may have done. Sasuke chuckled slightly at Naruto's words. "I would never stoop so low just to attain power. These eyes were born the day I witnessed your death, by my hands," said Sasuke as Naruto became confused. "I'm not dead, nor have I ever been dying by your hands. So how could my death have anything to do with that?" "Itachi," replied Sasuke in a low tone as he continued to stare into his own reflection. "Itachi made me kill you in his Tsukuyomi over and over again, and I assume due to the realness of his genjutsu, my eyes were born that day." Naruto raised his eyebrows at that statement. Why would Itachi do something like that? He'd have had to know that something like that could happen. Did he do it on purpose? Thought Naruto as he felt a chakra spike come from Sasuke, who was holding the tiger seal after going through 6 hand seals. Katan. Goka Meshitsu. Fire style. Great flame destruction, said Sasuke as he blew out a massive stream of intense flames. Naruto got engulfed by the sudden attack as Sasuke set him and the wooden wall behind him ablaze. Sasuke ended his attack after a few seconds as Naruto's wood wall was burning in an intense fire. Not seeing any sign of Naruto, Sasuke scanned his surroundings for anything that could clue him in on his whereabouts. Finally realizing where he was, Sasuke jumped in the air to avoid a hand coming from the ground beneath him. Sasuke took the sword off his back as he stabbed it through Naruto in the ground when he landed. Instead of flesh, Sasuke stabbed into wood as the Naruto beneath turned out to be a wood clone. Sasuke turned to see Naruto standing behind him, without his Kyuubi cloak and missing the right sleeve of his shirt. It seemed Naruto hadn't gotten fully away from Sasuke's attack as his right arm had burn marks on it along with his clothes being slightly singed. Naruto placed his hands in the snake seal. Mokutan Kuchios, Hori Nikashoku Butsu, would release summoning. Burrowing carnivorous Buddha, came the voice of Naruto as he slammed a hand onto the ground. A massive sealing array appeared underneath Sasuke as the ground beneath him rumbled. Sasuke immediately jumped away from the sealing array as a huge plant emerged where he just was. That plant is enormous, thought Sasuke as what appeared to be a 4-sided Venus flytrap appeared beneath him attempting to eat him. As Sasuke began his descent to the ground, he had to raise his sword to block a kunai strike from Naruto, who appeared in front of him with a Shunshin. Naruto then knocked Sasuke's sword aside as he lashed out with a quick elbow. Sasuke's Sharingan saw it coming, however, and he swatted it away, causing Naruto to stumble slightly. Sasuke attempted to strike Naruto with his sword but had to dodge Naruto's plant as it tried to eat him. Sasuke grew slightly annoyed with Naruto's summoned plant creature or monster and decided to be rid of it. Sasuke let loose another stream of flames that flew toward Naruto's plant. Though before the flames got to the enormous plant, it sunk back into the ground to avoid them. "TCH," said Sasuke, noticing his fire missed as the plant emerged once the danger was gone. With Sasuke's worrying about the plant, Naruto decided to take advantage of his friend's misplaced attention. Naruto performed another Shunshin as he appeared to the side of Sasuke and sent a kick to his midsection that keeled him over. Naruto wasn't surprised to see a log take Sasuke's place and fall to the ground with a massive dent in it. Naruto took out a kunai as he turned to block Sasuke's sword strike from behind. The two then began to trade blows of metal as sparks began to fly everywhere from the clashes of kunai versus sword. Despite Sasuke having the reach advantage with his sword and his Sharingan to predict Naruto's movements, he couldn't press that advantage due to Naruto's advantage in speed and the plant continuing to bother him. He was actually taking the worst of their exchanges as bruises and cuts began to appear on his body. I have to get rid of that thing. Looks like I'll have to use my eyes, thought Sasuke as he closed his left eye. Sasuke dodged another attempt of Naruto's plant to eat him only to be kicked away by Naruto. Sasuke blocked the kick and landed on his feet as he prepared his technique. Blood seeped from Sasuke's left eye as he turned his head toward Naruto's plant. Amaterasu, heavenly illumination, said Sasuke, opening his left eye. Nearly instantaneously, Naruto's plant was set ablaze by a majestic black fire. The plant shrieked in agony as it tried to quench the flames by diving in the water. But to no avail though, as the black flames continued to burn even underwater as the plant eventually was turned into ash. Naruto stopped fighting at the sight of Sasuke's jutsu. So that's the power of the Mangekyo. Even with my plant going underwater, the fire didn't stop burning it, thought Naruto as he stared back at Sasuke. Due to the blood that seeped from his left eye, I'm assuming he can conjure up unquenchable black flames from that eye specifically. I'll have to be careful. Sasuke shut his left eye immediately after turning Naruto's plant into ash. A few seconds after the plant was finished, Sasuke clutched the left side of his face as he felt the aftereffects of using the jutsu. I can't keep using those techniques. It'll do me no good to use those powerful jutsus if it'll eventually make me go blind. I'll have to use it sparingly, thought Sasuke as he removed his hand and stared back out at Naruto. That was a powerful technique you used just now. Though I have to wonder, there has to be a risk to using it. From the way your eye bled just now to the fact that you clutched that side of your face as well, I assume it brings risk to your eyes, said Naruto analytically about Sasuke's jutsu. Seems you really are great at analysis. But now that you've seen what I could do, what makes you think I won't burn you alive right now? Questioned Sasuke as Naruto never wavered from the threat. Despite the jutsu speed, I have a way of evading its harmful effects, said Naruto confidently as he held up a half-ram seal with his right hand. Mokuton, Daijirin no Jutsu, with style, great forest technique. Naruto's right hand morphed into a dozen wooden branches as they converged to attack Sasuke. True, Naruto could just dodge my jutsu. With the way he can turn his body into wood, he could probably just peel off whatever part of him gets struck by Amaterasu and avoid it altogether. Not to mention he probably noticed that my eye bleeds whenever I use it, so he'll be even more prepared, thought Sasuke as he evaded Naruto's jutsu. Sasuke had to keep evading as the branches continued to diverge and chase after him. Using Tsukuyami on him would most likely be pointless. He said it himself that Jinjutsu is meaningless to use against him. Even with my Mangekyo, he'd still be able to break it as I'm not too good at using it. Danzo-sama said it was even truer due to his Jinchuriki connection. That just leaves one option. Sasuke had been backed up into the base of the waterfall by Naruto's jutsu. Sasuke evaded it once more as the jutsu smashed into the base of the waterfall with great impact. Sasuke landed on Madara's stone foot as he heard the familiar swirling noise of Naruto's most used jutsu behind him. Naruto appeared in a shunshin behind Sasuke as he prepared to end the fight with a Rasengan. It's over, Sasuke, said Naruto as he smashed his jutsu into a skeleton. Naruto's Rasengan struck what appeared to be the spectral image of a purple skeleton surrounding Sasuke. The defense held firm to Naruto's Rasengan as it grew an arm that swatted Naruto over to Hashirama's foot. Naruto crashed into Hashirama's foot after being thrown away with great force by the sudden attack. Naruto felt a dull pain as he looked up from the crack he was in to see a gigantic humanoid being surrounding Sasuke. Naruto began to stand and stare in awe of what he was seeing as Sasuke turned to face him fully. Sensing Naruto's wonder, Sasuke decided to quell his thoughts. Susanoo, said Sasuke, speaking about the purple being surrounding him. He with the ability to help by all means. This is the third power of my Sharingan. Sasuke Susanoo had an entire upper body made up of only bones and muscle. It had 2 horns on its skull, glowing yellow eyes, and 4 arms. It then manifested what appeared to be a sword as it raised the spirit sword to attack Naruto. Naruto smirked at his friend's ability and despite the situation had to admire his friend's prowess. That jutsu just took a Rasengan and didn't waver in the slightest. But Naruto had more up his sleeve as well. Naruto placed his hands in the snake seal. Naruto's chakra flared as the Shodame's necklace glowed a bright green. Sasuke Susanoo let its sword fall to strike Naruto as a huge plume of dust and debris plagued the air from its strike. As the area cleared, Sasuke could see what appeared to be a huge, wooden dragon's head situated where Naruto was. The dome looked unfazed by the attack and then split down the middle to show Naruto was still holding the snake seal. Mokuton, Hobi no Jutsu, with style, with expulsion technique, said Naruto as his wooden structure sunk back into the ground. Thank you Hashirama-jichi. Thought Naruto thanking his great-grandfather. Hashirama had placed several Mokuton techniques in the scroll of seals in case another user came along and Naruto began to delve into them back when he first got the scroll. He'd only gotten down 2 of Hashirama's techniques and that was one of them. The other was Naruto's new favorite. Naruto held the ram seal as he prepared to use it. Mokuton, Mokoryu no Jutsu, with style, with dragon technique, said Naruto as a huge wooden dragon appeared from the ground behind him. The dragon coiled around him a bit as it stared down Sasuke. The dragon then launched itself at Sasuke's Susanoo, which tried to stop it with another sword strike, but the dragon evaded it easily. The dragon then wrapped itself around Sasuke's Susanoo and constricted it tightly. Sasuke began to feel his Susanoo weaken from the dragon's presence and felt the chakra creating it being siphoned off. Naruto smirked at his best friend as he told him about his last technique. This is Hashirama-jichi's wood dragon. It had the power to bound the 9 tails up in the past and right now, it's doing the same to your Susanoo, said Naruto as he heard Kurama scoff internally at the comment of his run-in with Hashirama. It also has the power to absorb chakra, and I'm sure that Susanoo of yours is made entirely of chakra. Damn you Naruto. I could use Amaterasu to burn that dragon but… thought Sasuke as his vision blurred slightly as he stared at Naruto. I can't continue to risk my eyesight. Sasuke had already used Amaterasu and keeping his Susanoo up was already weakening his eyes. Sasuke then felt a branch snag his arm from the ground beneath him. Sasuke was then thrown from his Susanoo toward Naruto as he was defenseless to what was about to happen. Naruto clad himself in a 3-tailed cloak as he prepared to end the fight. Naruto violently kicked Sasuke into the waterfall with the power of a Kurama-enhanced roundhouse. When Naruto's kick connected with Sasuke's body, a large crack could be heard as Sasuke was sent flying through the waterfall and thudded into the wall behind it. Naruto knew that that kick would have definitely left Sasuke severely injured, enough to be able to take him back to Konoha. However, Kurama knew better. He activated the cursed seal as you kicked him. I'm not sure if that kick was enough to keep him down if he's using that power. Why didn't you use something else? If I used a Rasengan, I could have killed him. I need to take him back alive and I thought that a 3-tailed kick would be enough to put him down. It looks like he's not going to give up, replied Naruto as he saw a huge spark of black lightning appear from behind the waterfall. Naruto charged up another Rasengan, a huge one in preparation for Sasuke. Sasuke came walking out of the waterfall in his cursed seal level 2 form, with his right hand cloaked in a huge amount of electricity. This is it Naruto, said Sasuke as he took off in a sprint at Naruto, who returned the sprint in kind. Cho Chikora Chidori, Super Chakra Chidori, Otama Rasengan, Big Ball Rasengan, came the shouts of Sasuke and Naruto respectively as they met in a clash. Sometime later, it's just up ahead Kakashi, came the surprisingly deep voice of a small dog named Pakin. Pakin was leading his summoner, Kakashi, through the woods as they were headed to try and retrieve his ex-students. Kakashi merely nodded at Pakin as he continued sprinting. Sasuke left the village. Tsunade-sama said that Danzo could be involved. That team she sent should have never been sent alone. Luckily Niji was still alive after his fight. The team from Suna helped keep the rest of the group from harm's way. All that's left is Naruto and Sasuke. Please make it in time, thought Kakashi as he had felt a spike of the Kyuubi's chakra recently, a spike bigger than the ones before. Kakashi and Pakken arrived at the Valley of the End to see Naruto standing and staring at what appeared to be a burning body. Sasuke was nowhere around as Kakashi jumped to land by Naruto. "Naruto, are you okay? What happened?" questioned Kakashi as Naruto looked at him with a slightly somber look. "I don't know," said Naruto as he told Kakashi what happened in his fight with Sasuke. Flashback? Earlier, Cho Chikura Chidori, Otama Rasengan, came the shouts of Sasuke and Naruto respectively as they met in a clash. A giant sphere of energy surrounded the two as their jutsus battled each other. The sphere expanded and eventually exploded in a bright display of energy as it left the valley unable to be seen for a few seconds. Clouds formed immediately as rain began to pour down over the valley. A figure could be seen standing over another figure that laid prone on the ground motionless. Naruto had lost his Kyuubi cloak as Sasuke's Sharingan faded, and his cursed seal receded. Sasuke laughed slightly. "Seems I still can't overcome you, Naruto," said Sasuke from his back as he stared up into the rain. Sasuke's body wasn't responding as that last clash had taken a lot out of him, especially with Naruto besting him in the last exchange. Naruto stood over Sasuke as he looked down at his friend. "I'm taking you back to Konoha," said Naruto as he picked Sasuke up and placed him over his shoulder. Naruto then began to make the trek back to Konoha with Sasuke slung over his shoulder. "You don't seem to understand, Naruto. I'm not going to Konoha. I've come too far to fail now," said Sasuke as Naruto became confused. "But remember, you are the leaves bathing in the sunlight, and I am the roots that grow in the dark." Naruto didn't understand what Sasuke was saying. He had lost and from what Naruto could tell, couldn't lift a finger. There was nothing he could do besides getting carried back to Konoha. Naruto Senju came the voice of a new arrival. An arrival who had 4 more shinobi with him. The group of 5 were all wearing identical cloaks with hoods and plain white masks with various animals depicted on the front. Normally Naruto would have been able to sense them beforehand, but he was too tired from his fight with Sasuke to even realize it. "Umbu?" said Naruto, confused by the arrival of the 5 shinobi. "You're not Konoha Umbu. Who are you?" The group didn't answer Naruto but instead chose to attack him. Naruto dodged the swipe of a tip-less Tanto from the first Umbu, only to have to duck the swipe of another. Naruto wasn't fortunate enough to dodge the 3rd and 4th Umbu and received punches to the stomach, making him drop Sasuke. Sasuke was then picked up by the 5th and final member as he took him away, leaving Naruto to face off against the final 4. The remaining 4 Umbu members stood as a blockade, keeping themselves between Naruto and the fleeing Umbu with Sasuke. "We cannot allow you to take Sasuke. If you choose to continue pursuing him, we will have to stop you," came the voice of the same Umbu who had spoken earlier. "No, Sasuke," thought Naruto as he stood back up shakily. Naruto could feel Sasuke's presence vanish and his anger spiked. Naruto exploded in a display of chakra as he became shrouded in a vibrant, orange chakra. Naruto had 4 tails swishing behind him as he roared out of anger. That roar created a shockwave that sent the 4 Umbu in front of him flying back into the ravine that was the Valley of the End. The Umbu stood up quickly as Naruto landed on the ground beside them, cracking it slightly. "Who are you?" questioned Naruto in a Kurama-influenced voice. Like before, the Umbu never answered, only choosing to attack. Naruto swatted the first shinobi away with a flick of one of his tails as he caught the next one by the throat with a clawed hand. Naruto created a Rasengan that he sent into the chest of the 3rd approaching Umbu, which sent him careening into the wall behind him. Naruto crushed the throat of the Umbu in his hand as he slammed him into the ground, cracking it slightly. The Umbu, that Naruto had slammed into the ground, caught a flame as he burned to a crisp. The first Umbu that was swatted away by Naruto's tail also burned to a crisp along with the one that was launched into the wall by Naruto's Rasengan. They follow Umbu protocol of burning their bodies upon death. "That means I'll have to take the last one alive," thought Naruto as he turned to face the last Umbu. Before Naruto could enact his plan of capturing the last one, that Umbu's body burst into flames like the last 3, preventing his capture. "It's too late, Naruto," said Kurama. Kurama was surprised at Naruto's ability with his chakra. Instead of the version 2 form of a Jinchuriki form, Naruto took on what appeared to be a weaker chakra mode with 4 tails, possibly due to his body's ability to purify and control his chakra. Naruto let Kurama's chakra dissipate as he watched the body burn despite the rain that continued to fall. I was so close to bringing him back, but I held back on him because I didn't want to kill him, said Naruto back to Kurama. Who were those Umbu? Naruto then looked to see Kakashi and his dog, Pakin, land next to him. Flashback end. Naruto fell forward in exhaustion after he retold the events of his battle with Sasuke and the aftermath of it. As he was falling forward, Naruto was caught by Kakashi, who had turned so as Naruto could land on his back. I almost had him, sensei, said Naruto as he drifted off into unconsciousness. Kakashi nodded his head at Naruto as he picked him up piggyback style and began the long journey back to Konoha. Pakin disappeared in a puff of smoke as Kakashi walked back toward Konoha. Kakashi was both happy and saddened at today's events. He was happy that Naruto had handled facing an Uchiha who had the Mangekyo Sharingan so well, but saddened that it was his student who left. But despite all that, Kakashi was overjoyed that Naruto was safe. They had lost Sasuke, but Konoha couldn't afford to lose Naruto. Somewhere in a hidden base, "So I've seen you've come," came the voice of a man situated on a throne. He had bandages wrapped around his entire body, leaving only his left eye visible and his seafoam green hair. As the man said, 2 others walked into the room. One had a glint showing off his round glasses as the other had a glowing pair of Sharingan. The man on the throne grinned a sinister smile as he welcomed his new guest.
Welcome, Sasuke-kun.
I knew you'd come, said Orochimaru as he led Sasuke down a path of his base. Somewhere underground, 7 spectral figures stood on what appeared to be gigantic hands as they all appeared to be holograms. What the fuck is this meeting for? I got souls to sacrifice to Jashin-sama? Why are we here? Said one of the holograms with what appeared to be a triple-blade scythe in his hand. A hologram with eyes that held a purple tint to them with a ripple pattern looked toward the hologram that spoke. It wasn't as if he wasn't glaring at him or anything, but it certainly felt like he was staring into his soul, and it certainly irked the man with the scythe slightly. We are here to discuss a new development. Zetsu, said the hologram with the purple eyes as a being rose from the floor. The being had 2 large Venus flytrap-like extensions that enveloped his head and upper body, giving him a plant-like appearance. He had short green hair, yellow eyes, and his body had 2 different halves. One side was white while the other side was completely black. As the figure spoke, it seemed as though each half had its own voice and switched between each other perfectly. I have news on something important. Sasuke Uchiha fled Konoha in hopes of getting to Orochimaru. However, Konoha sent a team to retrieve him, and it ended up with him facing off against Naruto Senju. I recently watched the fight between the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, Naruto Senju, and Sasuke Uchiha. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki won the fight despite the Uchiha possessing the Mangekyo Sharingan, said Zetsu. After besting the Uchiha boy, Naruto attempted to take the Uchiha back to Konoha, but his progress was impeded by several Umbu. After managing to get the Uchiha away from him, Sasuke was able to make it to Orochimaru. Be wary of these 2 shinobis, especially the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, as he showed prowess in his Mokutan ability and the usage of his Bijou. I will continue to update you all. Now that we know how powerful the Jinchuriki has become, I have decided to change your targets. I will handle the 9 tails when the time comes. Itachi and Kisame will take the 6 tails instead. We have only a few more years before we begin our hunt. You know your duties. Be ready when the time comes. Dismissed? Finished the leader of the group as his image vanished along with the other 7. 1 week later, Naruto sat in his hospital bed as he was staring out the window, pondering the events that happened recently. It had been a week since his battle with Sasuke, and he was still in the hospital. All of his injuries were healed by that night of his arrival, but Naruto had decided to stay in the hospital for a little while longer. He still felt he wasn't mentally prepared yet to go back. The team Naruto was sent with all came back alive. Only Neji needed emergency surgery, but it was successful and he would make a full recovery. Thanks to the assistance of the Sand siblings, the rest of Konoha's retrieval team also came back alive and well with minor injuries. Tsunade immediately rushed to the hospital to check on her nephew as soon as he was brought in by Kakashi and was grateful that he was fine. Tsunade debriefed Naruto the next morning as he told her the events of his mission from his perspective. After hearing about everything and how he failed due to being stopped by Umbu, Tsunade just knew that Danzo was involved somehow. Despite not having any evidence to prove it, Tsunade was going to make certain that Danzo paid for what he did, especially since it went against her directly. His dealings in the shadows needed to be put to rest, and she was going to see that it be accomplished. Naruto had gotten many visitors during his stay in the hospital, including his friends and their senseis, along with Tenzo and Yugao. They all wished him well and gave him words of encouragement despite what just occurred. When Sakura had come to see him, she gave Naruto a long hug as she felt the same way he did. She had lost a teammate as well and was saddened that she couldn't stop him either since she was the first to notice him leaving. She did tell him that one day, whenever Naruto decided to hunt down Sasuke again, she'd be there with him. Despite all of his visitors, Naruto still sat in his hospital bed as he blew out a long sigh. Naruto never shifted his gaze from the window as he felt a familiar presence land on his windowsill. "Hey Gaki, how you holding up?" came the voice of Jiraiya as he sat on Naruto's windowsill. Naruto blew out another sigh as he looked toward his sensei. "I've seen better days, Jiraiya-sensei. What brings you back to Konoha?" questioned Naruto as Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a look of slight pity. Jiraiya knew what Naruto was going through as he had gone through the same when Orochimaru left. Though it was probably worst in Naruto's case as he had actually beat Sasuke and only lost him due to Danzo's interference. Luckily Naruto didn't know that yet. All hell would break loose if Naruto knew Danzo was the reason those Umbu attacked him. "I just came to tell you that you have a meeting with Tsunadeheim tomorrow morning. It's important and has to do with you. Be there," said Jiraiya as Naruto merely nodded his head weakly. Jiraiya, getting tired of seeing Naruto mope, decided to get him out of his funk. Jiraiya pulled out a folder and tossed it to Naruto. Naruto caught the folder and opened it to view its contents. After about a minute of looking over the folders inside, Naruto looked up at Jiraiya to see him smiling a very lecherous grin. "That's right, Gaki. I have it," said Jiraiya as Naruto blushed a deep red. "I thought Tsunade-chan got the original?" questioned Naruto as he saw Jiraiya still smiling as he held up the original photo of Naruto and Yujito kissing. "Well, when you and Tsunadeheim decided to get drunk off of Bunta's sake, I came in and tinkered with your seal. I loosened it to allow more of the Nine-Tails chakra to seep into your system, and while I was there, I happened to hear Tsunade singing love songs while waving a picture around in the air. Lo and behold, it's the picture of my young apprentice getting his groove on with the Kumo girl. I think I'll be able to make a lot of money off of a picture like this. What do you think, Nar dash?" said Jiraiya as he had to dodge a fist. "Oh, you'll have to do better than that if you plan to get this picture." Jiraiya took off running as he was chased by a hospital gown wearing Naruto. "Give me that picture!" shouted Naruto as he sprinted after Jiraiya. Path in Konoha. Ino was having a great day. She was walking down a path that headed toward Konoha's hospital. Ino was holding flowers that she had gotten for Naruto to help him feel better about the whole Sasuke situation. As she was walking, she noticed a trail of dust heading her way and couldn't see anything but a large mane of white hair speeding toward her. The figure jumped over her as she realized it was Jiraiya-sama. "I wonder what he's running from," said Ino, who turned to watch Jiraiya run. Ino then turned her head back around as he saw a smaller trail of dust coming down the road. She saw the trademark golden blonde hair and instantly knew it was her crush. But just like Jiraiya did earlier, Naruto jumped over her to get to Jiraiya. What Ino wasn't prepared for was the fact that Naruto was wearing a hospital gown. Only a hospital gown. And she happened to get a front row seat to what made Naruto Naruto. All of it, nothing was left to the imagination to her. The poor girl fainted on the spot as she laid prone on the ground with a stupid grin and a trail of blood leaking from her nose. One day later, Naruto stood in Tsunade's office the next morning. Naruto was clad in his Umbu uniform as Jiraiya and Tsunade were in the office with him. Jiraiya was situated on the windowsill like normal as Tsunade sat on the front of her desk. "So what's this meeting all about, Bie-chan?" asked Naruto as the two Sannin just sat and stared at him. Tsunade smiled at Naruto sweetly as if she was waiting for him to say that. Well, Naruto, Jiraiya and I had a discussion yesterday, said Tsunade as Jiraiya scoffed indignantly. And we think you're ready. Naruto looked confused slightly as he pondered what Tsunade meant exactly. Ready for what, Bie-chan? Jiraiya decided to butt in at this point. A training trip. You and I will travel the world as I teach you all about being a shinobi, said Jiraiya as Naruto looked at him confused. For 3 years, spoke Jiraiya to answer Naruto's impending question. Can I refuse? Asked Naruto as Jiraiya looked stunned. What? Going on a training trip for 3 years to get stronger as a shinobi? I would love to do that, but you have duties to the village and most likely wouldn't be able to focus on me the entire time. Plus, Bakon's here and I have my responsibilities as an Umbu. I can't just give all that up at the drop of a hat to go on a training trip. If I did that, I'd be no better than Sasuke. Jiraiya smiled at Naruto's words. Damn right, Gaki. That's what we were thinking. I just wanted to see if you had your head on straight. Glad you do, however, said Jiraiya as his smile dropped and his face became serious. My informant told me that the Akatsuki will begin moving in 3 years and that their leader is coming for you specifically. So you'll need to be prepared. That's why in 2 years you will go on a training trip with me. We will spend 6 months together as I prepare you for the Akatsuki. And it will be in the land of the toads, so I'll be able to spend all my time with you. Naruto nodded his head as that was much better than spending 3 years away from Konoha, halting all of his progress as a shinobi and being away from his home for that long. That sounded like a much better plan. That's only the final part of the plan, said Tsunade, getting Naruto's attention. There's a special place that you'll be sent to and trained in how to advance your Mokuton more, along with a certain power. There's a special place that Gigi went to and that'll you'll also go to. I cannot tell you now, but I'm certain that you'll enjoy your time there. This will happen in a year as I have to make sure all the preparations are for your arrival. Naruto wondered what kind of place it could be if it required that much preparation just to be able to go to it. But for now, Naruto, you'll still be assigned under Nico in Squad 3. We need you back out in the field, said Tsunade. Naruto nodded his head as he pulled his Gamma mask out of his ninja pouch. And don't worry, if we get any intel on Sasuke, you'll be the first to know. Finished Tsunade as she sent Naruto to the Umbu headquarters. Not 20 minutes after Naruto left, Shizen walked in with news that Danzo had arrived and was ready to see her. Shizen shut the door as she left Danzo alone with Tsunade and Jiraiya. Danzo walked in with his cane as he wondered what he was here for. What is it that you wish to speak of, Haim? Said Danzo stoically. Cut the bullshit, Danzo. I know what you did, said Tsunade in a gravely serious tone. I don't know what your talk started, Danzo, until he was hushed by Tsunade. I don't remember asking you to reply, and actually, I haven't said what you've done. Are you lying to me already? Said Tsunade as she didn't let Danzo answer that question either. I know you are still running that organization, Root, behind my back. I also know that you, at some point, enlisted Sasuke and sent him on the mission to Orochimaru. I can't have you doing these kinds of things without my knowledge of knowing them. Danzo kept quiet the entire time as he listened to Tsunade's words. However, Danzo wasn't a war veteran or master of negotiation for nothing and easily caught Tsunade's hidden meaning in her words. What are you asking of me? If I continue to allow your Root faction to exist, I want to be informed of its activities. You don't have to tell me everything, but things involving my shinobi, Sasuke Uchiha for example, need to be discussed with me first. Especially when I endanger the lives of my shinobi to get him back when it was planned by you from the start that they wouldn't make it. Said Tsunade as Danzo didn't show a visible outward reaction. I could say no, but then that would lead to more problems than I already have. Saying yes would mean that I'd have to keep her informed on my movements. But that's an easy price to pay to be able to continue my work. So I'll play your game, Haim, but eventually I will take over and lead Konoha to greatness. Thought Danzo as he nodded his head towards Tsunade. Of course, Tsunade, Haim. It is the least I can do. Would you like to know about Sasuke's true mission? Said Danzo. Part 1 completed. I know your game, Danzo, and you're not the only one that can have hidden motives. thought Tsunade as she nodded to find out about Sasuke's mission. 1 year later, Naruto aged 16. So there was nothing in this base either? Questioned Tsunade as she spoke to the group of Umbu standing before her. Well, good job eliminating any experiments and destroying the base. The more bases of Orochimaru that we destroy, the less amount of places he'll have to hide. Great job. Dismissed. Besides Yugama. The other 3 Umbu in the room disappeared from the room, leaving their leader for the mission alone in the room with Tsunade and Sakura. Sakura had definitely grown in the past year and was blossoming well in the 1.5 years she had spent with Tsunade. She had been made a Chunin 6 months ago along with Niji at the last Chunin exams. She had a great aptitude for learning and her growth in medical ninjutsu was impressive. Gama pulled off his Umbu mask as Tsunade's favorite ninja's whiskered face could be seen. He had completed over 40 B-rank missions and nearly 20 A-rank missions during the past year alone. He'd even become the leader of a squad designated in handling the sacking of Orochimaru's bases. Hey Bie-chan. I'm guessing it's already time, huh? Said Naruto, talking about what Tsunade spoke to him about a year ago. It was time for him to be sent to that special place to hone his Mokutan abilities. Yes, and all the preparations are set. I'm just hoping you had a fun time with Yujido last month, as it may be a while before you see your girlfriend again, said Tsunade as Naruto blushed slightly. Naruto had been sent on a mission near the border of Kaminari no Kuni, and according to the report by his teammates, Naruto had disappeared for a day. Tsunade figured he had gone to see Yujito and was correct in her judgment. She had screened Yujido's last letter to Naruto, which stated that Naruto's hands were magic. It was just a massage, Bie-chan. She's not my girlfriend, said Naruto in response, still with reddened cheeks. As Naruto was about to continue denying his relationship with Yujito, he was pulled down into a hug by Tsunade. Realizing shortly afterward that he was being hugged, Naruto returned the hug as he felt Tsunade's grip tighten slightly. I'm so proud of you. Now you be careful up there and take the training seriously, said Tsunade, disengaging the hug as she pulled out a scroll. Push chakra through the scroll and you'll be summoned to the area. Be safe and come back strong. See you in 6 months. Tsunade kissed Naruto's forehead since he was still bent over from hugging her. Sakura smiled at Naruto as she wished him good luck and that when he came back she'd want to spar him. Naruto smiled at the two as he waved goodbye to both. Naruto placed his hand on the scroll and let his chakra flow through it. Naruto felt a slight pull as it felt like he was being sucked into something. Right before he disappeared, Tsunade said a few final words. Tell Gigi. Tsunade says hi. And just like that, Naruto was gone in a puff of smoke. Naruto appeared in a place that he had never seen before. Naruto noticed that trees were everywhere and the area beneath his feet was damp. What is this place? Thought Naruto as he began to walk around for a little bit. Naruto felt a presence appear behind him and saw Katsuyu, Tsunade's summon, sitting behind him. That wasn't the presence Naruto felt though. There were 2 other figures there, powerful figures according to Naruto's sensory ability, and they were holding hands. One of them was a tall man with tan skin, dark eyes, and waist-length black hair. He wore a light brown, short-sleeved, kimono shirt with mesh armor underneath, held closed by a red sash and navy blue pants. The other figure was a woman with bright red hair and large, pupilless eyes. She wore a high-collared white kimono with a green obi tied around her waist. Her hair was arranged in buns, and she had a violet-colored diamond mark on her forehead, similar to Tsunade's. She had tags with kanji written on them that hung from a hairpin in her buns. Hello, welcome to the Shikatsu Forest, Naruto-kun, spoke the male figure as Naruto gasped upon recognizing who they were. Naruto's eyes widened and he stuttered out. You're Mito Uzumaki and Hashirama Senju, my great-great-grandparents.